Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to another episode of the Usagi Podjimbo podcast. This is episode 1 of season 2 of the podcast. Yes, we are done with most of the Fantagraphics run. We still got a couple back that I didn't cover to begin with. We'll cover them eventually. But apparently, there are some color specials. There's 3 of them that are part of the Fantagraphics run that aren't in the big collector's edition. But I think they're in the Usagi Yojimbo saga run. Eventually, we'll try to track them down if we can. Let me know if they are in that run or not. I know some of the color specials are, but we are going with Usagi Yojimbo Saga Book 1. We are looking at today. We are looking at Shades of Green Part 1 and a short story called Jizo. I don't know how you really actually pronounce that. Excuse me, because my Japanese pronunciation is not necessarily the best. We get for an opening, we get actually a recap of sorts, which we got this in the Usagi Yojimbo Origins set, where it just like recants and talks about like a little bit about the backstory of Usagi and his friends and what he's kind of sort of been through and whatnot, which I've already talked about that, But Shades of Green starts out on a cliffside, just like the last story, apparently. But this time they're next to some water, so it's okay. If they fall, they'll be fine. So you see Usagi and Gen running, and you see them running around this cliff, and then Gen's like, hurry, they're right behind us, and Usagi's like, no, they're right in front of us, and Gen and Usagi get trapped, and they kind of go back to back, and with their swords drawn, they start fighting these Neko Ninjas, and I thought the Neko Ninjas were actually, had sort of a treaty with Usagi and Gen, but I guess they don't at this time. We get this, it's a really cool fight scene. I love this fight scene, how they have to kind of fight one at a time because the ledge is so narrow, as one of the Neko Ninjas actually says, and he's like, but Gen and Usagi are kind of almost no match for them, I would say. Usagi starts to wonder, what are they actually up to? And Gen wonders, hey, maybe they've given up. But nope, they have not given up. They signal for the archers, and Usagi's like, nope, well, I'm not sticking around here, we're sitting ducks with these bowmen. And Gen's like, oh, what do you mean? Like, what's going on, Usagi? Like, what are we going to do? And Usagi's like, well, we have one thing to do. I hope you can swim, Gen. And he jumps off this cliff. And Gen's like, what if I can't swim? And you hear shoot them off to the background. And arrows start firing. And as Gen jumps, I love this scene. As Gen jumps, he's like, I better learn how to swim fast. And they actually end up going and tumbling, almost drowning, it seems like, in the river. And we see some of the Neko Ninjas actually go after them, which I don't think they actually survived the fall. Usagi and Gen actually swim away from the arrow's range, and they kind of get wrapped up in these rapids. They're coughing up water. They finally get to the riverbed off to the side. They're like 2 miles down river according to the comic book, and they're coughing, hacking up. And Gen even says that he actually has probably drank enough water for a week, and he is no longer thirsty, according to Gen. And Usagi says that those were Neko Ninjas. We fought with them together against Lord Takamura at the rebellion against the Shogun. And they're like, Gen's like, yeah, as Gen's pulling out some fish that apparently got in his gi or whatnot. He's like, yeah, they turn on us. What now? Why would they turn on us? And Usagi says, I don't think it was necessarily us they were after. It was more like they were guarding this particular area. And Gen's like, well, it wasn't my idea to come here. And Usagi's like, yeah, it was your idea to come here. You're the one who had the great shortcut. And they kind of get into a little argument. And Usagi happens to tell Gin, like, shh, like, hey. And he's like, yeah, I heard it too. And they both draw their swords, and we see a figure shrouded in shadow. And he looks a little familiar if you've read the Turtles, but it's not who we think it is. And Gin and Usagi get beat up with a thud and a bunk, and we see a rat, an old rat with a stick. He's got a stick, and he happens to say, we're very easily beaten, using samurai who are such unskilled as yourself. I don't know if we can get through this, but I guess it's inexcusable because you guys were very fatigued, and you just got out of the river and stuff like that. And this mysterious guy, he says that I expected you guys to be swept up further down the river, but the water is much lower than it is usually. And they are very Gin and Usagi are very, very confused. They're like, what's going on? Why are you babbling? He's like, all will be explained. But first, the first thing is, I don't have all day to wait. What are your names? And they're like, my name is Miyamoto Usagi. And this is Gin. He's like, Gin's like, who the hell are you? Like, what's going on? He's call me Kakura. And Kakura is a rat. And he says, come with me, now come along. Supper was waiting, it's going to get cold. And Usagi looks at Gin, and he's like, do you think we should go? And Gin's like, yeah, let's go. I'm actually pretty hungry. So they end up going with Kakura to this town. And they're like, oh, visitors, whatnot. Yay, visitors. And they go to, what I'm guessing is Kakura's house. And they've had their meal, and Gin's like, okay, yeah, we've had our meal, so what exactly is going on? And Kakura proclaims that the Neko Ninjas showed up 2 days ago, apparently, and have encircled the village. No one can leave or has come from this area, except for you two, apparently. And they're like, Gin and Usagi's like, but there doesn't seem to be anything of value to them here. And they're like, yeah, what are they after exactly? And Kakura says, me. They are after me. So elsewhere, we actually meet up or get reacquainted with, I guess you could say, the Neko Ninjas. We see Jizo, and Jizo was the sister of, I forgot what his name was. I had to go look it back up, sorry. But she's the sister of Shinji, who was the Neko Ninja who died in the Dragon Bellow conspiracy. He led the Neko Ninjas. And we meet back up with her, and she says that she actually, talking to these other ninjas, and then she's like, my feelings. I opposed the capture of the old rat, and we see this one guy. He looks a lot like Shinji, but he's not Shinji. And he's like, Jizo, you need his power. Our ranks have been devastated in the attack with Lord Tamakuro. We've got to, build our ranks back up because we've been devastated, like you said. And Jizo says, I know the situation, Gunji. And Gunji is this guy. But we are expecting too many of our we're expending too many of our resources in this operation. One that will yield dubious results, is what they say. But Gunji is actually he really wants to get this done and over with because they need Kakurin to actually build up their ranks, I guess, with his magical abilities, is what I'm guessing, because they have fallen out of favor with Lord Hikiji. And so they're working to actually, I guess, take down the Bat Ninjas is what they're trying to do, it seems like. Because they want to be the powerful ninja clan again, because they're not the most powerful ninja clan again. But we get this conversation between Jizo and Gunji, which leads to them very much getting into an argument. And this leads to them being like, you can't run the Neko Ninjas because you're a woman. And Gunji is like, I should have be the one who runs the Neko Ninjas because I was the same rank as your brother, and we need better leadership, he proclaims. And Chizu's like, such as you, Genji, you can't run the ninjas just like I can. I have just as much right to run the Neko Ninjas as you. And as they're fighting and bickering, Chizu hears something, and we see the Bat Ninjas. What were they called? The Komori Ninjas. They were flying overhead, and they heard them, apparently. And the Neko Ninjas actually run out of the hiding spot that they're in. They're in like a hut or something. And, they see the Komori Ninjas flying around. If you don't remember, they're the ones that, like, overtook like the top spot as being the best ninja clan from the Neko Ninjas because of what happened. And we get this cool scene where one of the ninjas actually throws like this weighted like chain and actually wraps one of the necks of the Bat Ninjas, which is really cool to see. And they bring him down, but unfortunately, I think it's a kunai he hits him with, and they're like Chizu proclaims like, oh, watch out for his blades, and the ninja who brings him down actually gets cut in the back, which is very sad to see. But they actually take out this Bat Ninja, and the Bat Ninja looks a little scary, I'm not gonna lie. And as they're still fighting and whatnot, Gunji actually tells Chizu to not let the other one get away, and she's like, I won't let him get away. And we actually see Chizu actually throw some ninja stars at one of the bats, killing him, and she proclaims, it's incredible, they dare spy on us, and Junji says, and you say they are not a real threat to us. And Chizu says that, you're right, there can be only one response to their affront, and apparently that is to go after them and kill them. But back in the village, we see Gen, Usagi, and I forgot what his name was. Kakura. I mean, I gotta get him right. I gotta get his name right eventually because he shows up from time to time, But Kakura, and Gen's like, what's so special about this? What's going on after drinking their tea and whatnot? And and Kakura is like, I'll wait until the others have been got here. And they're like, others? What are you talking about? Many samurai were summoned to this village. You are but the first to actually show up, apparently. And Gen's like, bah, we weren't summoned to anything. What are you talking about? You've got us confused with two other guys. And Kakura is like, summoning can be a subtle form, a wrong path taken, a missed ferry, a delay in the mountain hut. You never know what it can be. And we see this guy show up with a package. He's like, Sensei, this bundle, along with many others, were found by the riverbanks. And what is it? It's a severed head. And they're like, oh my god. So all the other samurai have been killed, apparently. Which is shocked to seeing a severed head on the ground. And they're like, I guess we're going to need some more help. Kakura says they draw the noose tighter around the village. And you two might not be match for their strength, but we need help. To fight ninja, we must get ninja. We must get ninja and two samurai, apparently. So Kakura actually sends this guy off, his student off, to get 4 baby turtles. Get 4 turtles from the riverbed. He goes and he gets 4 turtles, and Gen's like, okay, what's going on? What's going on? Why are you pouring water over these turtles? And we see, Kakura starts doing this, crazy, starts talking in gibberish and stuff. And he's like, Usagi's like, there's something happening here in the air. My fur is prickling. And Gen's like, oh my god, what's going on? And we get this really crazy scene of Kakura doing his, wizard magic and whatnot. It's really cool to see, how, the art shifts in these particular panels versus the other ones. And you see, Tin Chi Dobutsu, I think it's what it's called. And what he says is like heaven, earth, animal, turtles. And Usagi proclaims that here's a wizard. And we get this cool scene of like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They're all like in this weird looking smoke cloud. And Kakura screams, Kama! And it's crazy to see. And we get these two turtles, or not two, four turtles. They're just standing there with their weapons drawn, and they're like, Leonardo proclaims, okay, what now? And with the shocked look on Usagi's face and Gen's face, it's go time. The turtles are here in the Usagi Yojimbo universe. After that, we actually get a little backup story within this first issue, which is Jizo, I think it is. Jizo just sounds weird, so I don't know what we would call it. We see the two woodcutters walking by, and we see this woman walk up with this like stone child. Jizo-san, guardian of the souls of the dead children, this will be your resting place. She places the stone child on like this like kind of like a little hill kind of thing, overlooking what looks to be like a marker on a particular road. And this woman says that my son was murdered here, but by 5 outlaws terrorizing the area. The magistrates and his men patrol the roads, but they have been unable to capture them, apparently. I pray, Jizo-san, that others will not fall victim to this villain, so you're going to be here to actually watch over the dead children as they pile stones in the dry river beds, apparently. And I pray for the offerings, and these pebbles will ease the children's burden. And I hope that the travelers will take compassion and offer the same, apparently. That's what this woman says. And she says, there's a chill in the air, I'll return tomorrow. A coat will keep him warm. And we see, we get panels of the stone child looking at the different people who are crossing through this particular area. We see some very, very important people and whatnot. Then we actually finally see Usagi show up. Usagi shows up, and he actually ends up fighting off a bunch of bandits. And they have a big fight, and we see he kills them all. And they come and take the dead away, and the Jizo is still there looking, and he doesn't really do much because he's like a stone child, And the woman comes back. She's like, how wonderful. Some caring wayfarer has given you some pebbles. Yay. And this jacket will keep you warm. And she puts like a little jacket on him and whatnot. And we see like his little pebbles of offering grows bigger and bigger. This is a fun little story. It's not my favorite, but it's okay. It's kind of cute and sweet. The main meat and potatoes, I have to say, of this issue is the beginning of Shades of Green, in my opinion. I kind of really glossed over the last story, the second story, the backup, because not much happens. It's not a totally important story. It's just a fun little side story, and we get to learn a little bit about Japanese culture. But seeing the introduction of Kakura and whatnot, and the reintroduction of the Neko Ninjas is amazing. Kakura is what he is. He's a mysterious version of Master Splinter, basically. He's like Usagi's Master Splinter, I guess you could say. And he's always around when the turtles show up. When the turtles are needed in the Usagi universe, Kakura is there. But it's cool to see what the Neko Ninjas are actually after, trying to get their power back and whatnot. It's cool. It's cool to see the Neko Ninjas back. I love seeing them back. Gen and Usagi are always fun to see. This was a good start to the new run of comics, I have to say. And it's cool to see now, all the turtles coming into the Usagi universe, because at first it was only Leonardo who showed up for 2 short stories. But yeah, is cool. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of action and whatnot in this, and there's going to be a lot more action to say the least. To begin with, I have to say though, I'm kind of glad that I have it's packaged in the Usagi Yojimbo Saga Book 1, because I went to go look for this like digitally, like a legal digital version of the first 3 issues of the Mirage Run. I couldn't find it anywhere. It wasn't on Comixology or anything like that, so I couldn't find the first story arc of this, which is Shades of Green, on any legal site to read comics. So I'm glad I got to read it. But yeah, this is a good first start. I love the artwork when Kakura starts doing his magical spells and whatnot. Because I mean, I don't remember if we actually had magical powers introduced into the Usagi Yojimbo universe yet. I know we had like ghosts and I think like demons or yokai, but we haven't had like straight on like magic, which is really cool to see. And how he uses it, he summons the Ninja Turtles, because why not? Why not summon the turtles, you know? But yeah, this is a fun start to the new volume of Usagi Yojimbo. And let's continue it and move on to the next issue. Thanks for listening, guys. I hope you enjoyed this issue. I know it was a little rocky getting into this, but hope you guys enjoyed. And we'll catch you guys on the next episode. Stay safe. Go read some Usagi Yojimbo. And we'll catch you guys on the next episode.